Hello, welcome back to another video. Today I am just doing a bit of baking. I've got my friend's birthday, so I am baking her a cake. She's not really a cake person, so I did ask her if she wanted a cake, thinking that she was going to say nah, and her response was yes please. So it was me that offered, and I wasn't like hoping for her to say no. I just thought that she was probably going to. But anyway, she wanted a sticky ginger cake. So let's get to it.
So I'm just using a Jane's Patisserie recipe for the sticky ginger cake. Honestly, it's a sticky ginger loaf cake, sorry. Honestly, Jane's Patisserie recipes, I don't think you can go wrong with them. No, I'm not sponsored. I'm not being paid to say this. I've just tried a fair few of the recipes, and that woman makes a damn good recipe. That's what I'll say. So that is the recipe I'm using. And I know it's not like a traditional birthday cake, but my friend isn't really like a cake person. She's really not into like the different like icing on cake. And so I found like some different options that weren't really like normal cakes for birthdays. But then again, what is a normal birthday cake? And then I just sent them to her, and this is the one that she chose. So I think that, that's what's more important. Like, this is the option that she wanted. And when she tried this, she literally said, she was like, this tastes exactly like like the sticky Jamaican ginger cake. And I was like, yes, this is what we wanted. So yeah, honestly, try this recipe. It's literally, I'm not going to go through like all of the ingredients. You can find it through like Jane's Patisserie website or something like that. It's just her sticky ginger loaf cake. I'll try and link it down below if I can find it, because obviously I'm using it from a cookbook that I've got of hers. And then, is it a baking session with me if I don't spill things on the counter? Probably not. But yeah, I've just found recently, like, I'm getting so much enjoyment from like baking more things from scratch. Like, I started the year with the goal of making my own bread and making my own butter. I could still buy like other bread products, but any like loaf of bread, I was making it, which was normally like the sourdough. And it's now kind of like exploded into this, I'm making everything from scratch. But honestly, like, I just find it so much, like, I get so much out of it. And it's like, as I'm doing it more and more, I'm like learning more. And it's more like intuition now. Like, even this, like, I was like, this is not working with the spoon. So I was like, you know what? I was like doing it, rubbing it through my fingers the same way I would do like a crumble mixing. Like that, I was like, yeah, that'll work. So it's even like I'm learning so much more, and like I'm just getting so much more like intuitive about it, and I'm genuinely like enjoying it so much. I've actually got my dad and his girlfriend visiting in about a week, so I might do some baking for that, because I don't really get to see my dad as often as like other people that I like share my bakes with. But yeah, so I might do that. There might be a bit more baking coming up. But I'm just finding as well that like having a routine with making things from scratch is like making me feel a lot calmer too. I feel like I've been really, really busy currently, hence why if anyone follows me on any other social media platforms like Instagram and TikTok and stuff, I've been a bit quiet, as I've just honestly been like desperately trying to make my house look like I didn't just move in last week, despite having lived here for 9 months. But anyway, I'm actually finding that like baking things from scratch and having things that like I regularly make as well, like I always make some form of bread product. I have my homemade butter, there's something prepped for dinner, there's like a snack or a nice baked good. This was like an extra of like, there was a cake this week. But like all these things are just really helping me have some routine currently, and I think it makes me think back to like what life would have been like for our grandparents' generation. Like, it wasn't necessarily a thing of like, oh, I've got to do this today and here's my planner and my 1,000 to-do list. It was more like having a routine in the home as well as with life, and that like everything got done almost, you know, like a flow state, and like you just get into a flow state of things and you just like see things that need to be done and just do it. I feel like that's what I call like my pottering about. And like, by the way, if I could be a professional potter abouter, I totally would be. But I think when I'm baking, like it's currently one of the few times I can really just get into a flow state. So anyway, I mean, ramble over, but I'm sure you weren't expecting that when you clicked on the video. But yeah, honestly, like just making things from scratch, it's been so fun. And I think there's nothing better than just like sharing this stuff with people. Like I'm constantly taking in things to like friends and like friends at work and family members and all sorts. Like it's great. Plus it means that then I don't have to eat the whole thing and I save my waistline a bit, because I love to make these new recipes and I love the process of baking. I can't eat the whole thing, do you know what I mean? But anyway, let's just watch me bake for a little bit and then I'll get back to yapping. So essentially the process of the cake, you're literally just weighing out the dry ingredients. You got things like flour, bicarbonate soda, different spices like ginger, cinnamon and nutmeg. I think there's some salt in it maybe. And then the wet ingredients that you're going to sort of like melt over the pan. So I think in the original recipe she might have said something like you do it in the, you know, like the double boiler thing. No, maybe this was just do it in a saucepan. I'm not entirely sure. But anyway, so then you just have like your black treacle, your butter, your golden syrup, like your wet ingredients. You just like melt those and then just mix that all in. I think then add like eggs and just whisk it all up. I actually found, I can't remember if I filmed it, but I did find that it was like quite liquidy, so I added like a tad more flour. Again, it's just that like, because I'm baking more and like making more from scratch, it's like that intuition. And I was there and I was like, this is too liquidy. I was like, I think I need to add a little bit more flour. Like not loads, but it's even just like, yeah, just like feeling like I know those things when I'm baking. Like it's more, my friend said something the other day about like how cooking and baking and everything is like science, and how I take quite like a scientific approach to it. And I was like, I do agree with it to a point. I said to her, I was like, I think that baking and cooking and everything is almost like, and this is going to sound super cringe, but almost like science and art combined, because it is. But yeah, I just love it. And anyway, oh yeah, and then some whole milk, which I completely forgot, gets added, which I bought this massive thing of whole milk. I do not drink whole milk at all. Like, absolutely not. And I actually then made Greek yogurt with some of the whole milk, which I can say, hands down, making some of these like basics from scratch, try it. Genuinely, like it's not as hard as you think. And maybe I should do like a series or something, or like some different videos of almost like the basics, like making the basics from scratch. Like not even just like fancy meals and stuff, like things that you can pair with other things. Like I would say Greek yogurt is a basic because it can go with so many other different things. Whereas like a cake, like yeah, fair enough. Like it's probably a bit more not basic. But anyway, I just got the mix into the loaf tin. This is actually like a new loaf tin that I got from IKEA, because I had like one tiny little loaf tin, and then I was like, I couldn't do like two things at the same time. And there's like one of my recipes that I use where it's like a zucchini bread, or I mean in the UK also it'd be like courgette. And the recipe makes enough for like 2 loaves, and I always forget that. And then I just sit there with like the rest of it in the bowl, like waiting for this other loaf to finish. Oh, it's a nightmare. So, but this loaf tin actually worked out so well. I think because it was a bit bigger than the cake, like it was actually more like flat on the top rather than like, you know, with using a smaller pan, it would then be sort of like more rounded on the top. So this actually worked out really, really well, having it in a like slightly bigger loaf tin. So this was then just the next day. So I did this in the evening and then let it completely cool overnight. And then it's onto the icing. So this was then the day that I was seeing my friend and giving her the cake. We were doing like a little bit of a day out, like pottery painting as well. It was really fun. But anyway, I started off with this tiny little sieve, another new thing that I bought from IKEA. And I think in my head I was like, oh yeah, this would be so, you know, this would be fine. And then actually when I was doing it, I was like, obviously the scales weren't really weighing it because it was taking so long for it to actually like be sieved through and go into the bowl. So then I had the bright idea of using a bigger sieve and just weighing out, getting the like measurement out in the sieve. So it's like resting on the bowl. So then obviously the scales are like showing exactly how much icing sugar I'm actually putting in. And then just like sieving that through at that point. Because I don't know what it is. Like my icing sugar has just been really like clumpy recently. Like whenever I've gone to use it. So it takes like so long to sieve. And it's not even like I can sieve it, you know, like where you kind of like bash the side of it. Like it just does not sieve. So if anyone is in the same position, I have found, honestly, that like sort of scraping it through with the back of a spoon is probably like one of the easiest methods for that. So if you've got like really clumpy icing sugar, just give that a go. So then just add ginger and really slowly add water to this. I've got this really cute little tiny measuring cup. It's like a measuring jug, but like miniature. And I actually sometimes find that so much easier than I used it with the milk because it was like a fairly small measurement. I was like, it's just, I'm then gonna have like a whole massive jug to wash up from doing that, and then B, it's almost like it's more precise using the little one, and plus it's so freaking cute, like getting to just have that little miniature jug when I'm doing it. Adorable. 10/10 whimsical vibes. But anyway, so making the icing, and this was actually really, really good. Like it wasn't too gingery. It was just, it was so nice. So good. So I just sort of like really thoroughly mixed that so that it was really nice and smooth. And then onto putting it onto the cake. So, which, I mean, come on, that's the fun bit. And I totally ate this little bit that was like on the side. I mean, you know, I just had to check that it was okay. But yeah, so started putting the icing on. I thought at first I'd do this like really cute little like drizzly thing over the top, and it was going really well at first, and then it wasn't going so well. Then it just sort of like started dolloping on, and plus I had so much icing left still at this end, like at this point. So I was like, right, okay, I don't think this drizzly thing is gonna work for the whole thing. So I just sort of ended up having like a dollop in the middle, and then you've sort of got like the drizzly bits on like the outside of it, which, I mean, I think it actually ended up looking quite nice. And equally, even if it didn't look the best, this tasted so damn good. One thing I will say, like, don't panic if it kind of, like, the little bit I tasted, I was like, oh, is this a bit dry? But, like, genuinely, the actual in the loaf, it's not bad at all. But anyway, I really hope you've enjoyed watching me make this cake. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, all of that stuff. It really does mean the world. And I will see you next week. Bye.